When I first moved into my lakeside house, I thought I'd found paradise. A quiet community, beautiful views, and direct access to the water. What more could I want? I bought an old pontoon boat, nothing fancy, just something to enjoy sunset cruises and early morning fishing trips. A month after settling in, I got my first taste of the HOA. One morning, a neatly folded notice was taped to my door. It read, "Dear homeowner, your boat is in violation of HOA guidelines. Please remove it from the lakefront immediately or face fines of $100 per day. Thank you for your cooperation." At first, I thought it was a joke. I owned the dock behind my house. The boat was secured properly. Who were they to tell me what I could do on my own shoreline? I decided to attend the next HOA meeting to clear things up. The moment I walked in, I was greeted with fake smiles and side eyes. The president, a man named Rick, wasted no time. "Mr. Thompson, your boat is an eyesore. It violates our aesthetic standards. If you don't comply, we'll be forced to fine you." I calmly explained, "I bought this property with riparian rights. I own the shoreline, and according to my deed, I also own part of the lake." Rick scoffed. "That's impossible. The lake is common property for HOA use only." I didn't argue. Instead, I pulled out my paperwork and dropped copies on the table. The room went quiet. My deed clearly outlined that my property extended 200 feet into the water, and legally I owned that portion of the lake. Rick turned red. "We'll look into this." I nodded. "You do that." A week later, I received another notice. This time, it was a demand to appear before a special compliance hearing. They were doubling down, so I decided to do a little digging of my own. Turns out, the HOA had been running a private fishing club for years. They sold memberships to non-residents to fish on the lake, pocketing the money. Their prized fishing dock? Right in the middle of the portion of the lake that I owned. I hired a lawyer. We sent the HOA a cease and desist letter, informing them they were trespassing on my property and illegally profiting from it. I demanded they shut down the fishing club immediately and remove their dock. At the next meeting, Rick was livid. He tried to play tough until my lawyer pulled out aerial maps, deeds, and tax records. The room fell silent again. There was no loophole. I owned that part of the lake. By the end of the month, the fishing dock was dismantled. The HOA refunded the club's membership fees under threat of a lawsuit. And my boat, still parked peacefully at my dock, right where it belongs. Neighbors who'd been silently annoyed by the HOA's antics started stopping by to thank me. Some even brought over fresh pies and six-packs as tokens of gratitude. Rick eventually resigned, claiming stress. Now, every evening, I sit on my pontoon with a cold drink, watching the sunset ripple across my slice of water. The boat they tried to ban is now my personal reminder that sometimes, the best way to deal with bullies is to know exactly what you own and never back down.